I took the night shift at Ravencroft Storage because I was desperate. 6 weeks earlier, I had lost my job. 2 weeks after that, my girlfriend left. 3 weeks after that, my bank account went negative and my landlord taped a notice to my door. I wasn't looking for something meaningful. I just needed something that paid. The listing said $28 an hour, overnight security, minimal responsibility, immediate start. It felt too easy. The warehouse sat outside of town, past a stretch of highway where the streetlights had stopped working years ago. The building was massive. No logos, no company branding, just a metal sign that read Ravencroft Storage and Logistics. The man who hired me introduced himself as Mr. Holloway. He didn't ask about my experience. He asked one question. "Are you good at following instructions exactly as written?" I said yes. He handed me a key card and a sealed envelope. "Open this at 9:55, he said. "Not before." Then he added something that stuck with me. "If you deviate from what's written, I cannot guarantee your safety." I assumed it was some strange corporate liability joke. It wasn't. At 9:55, alone in the security office, I opened the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper titled Ravencroft Night Protocol, Mandatory. There were 15 rules, some normal, some not. Lock all exterior doors at 10 p.m. Do not unlock them for anyone until 6 a.m. Between midnight and 12:10, you may hear movement in Sector C. Do not investigate. If Camera 7 shows a hallway that appears longer than usual, look away immediately. There is no employee assigned to a red hooded jacket. If you see one, remain seated. If you hear your name spoken from inside the building, do not respond. Never acknowledge knocking from Bay Door 3. At 3:33 a.m., all cameras will disable for 1 minute. You must remain still. If you feel breathing near your ear, do not turn your head. If you see yourself on camera, do not look at the screen for the rest of the shift. If you break a rule, go to the staff restroom, lock the door, and wait until morning. Do not fall asleep. I remember reading the list twice, waiting for the punchline. There wasn't one. At 10 p.m., I locked the doors. The warehouse fell silent. Too silent. Warehouses usually settle. Air systems hum. Something moves. This building felt insulated from sound, like the walls absorbed it. Midnight came faster than I expected. Exactly at 12, Camera 4 flickered. Sector C. The lights dimmed slightly, and I saw movement between the shelves, something low to the ground, crawling. I leaned closer to the monitor. Then it stood up. It was too tall. Its head nearly touched the overhead beams. The lights flickered again. When they stabilized, the aisle was empty. I did not leave the office. At 12:47, Camera 7 shifted. It showed hallway east. Only the hallway didn't look right. It stretched too far. Shelves extended into darkness where the back wall should have been. The corridor looked endless. I remembered the rule and looked away. When I looked back, the hallway was normal again. At 1:02, Camera 2 picked up movement near the loading area. A figure stood facing the wall, wearing a red hooded jacket. There was no entry log, no door alarm. They were just inside. The figure slowly turned toward the camera. The hood covered its face in shadow. It didn't walk. It flickered. One frame, it was near the wall. The next, it was closer, then closer, until it stood directly outside the security office. I could see its shadow under the door. Its feet were wrong, bent backward at the ankle. It stayed there for several minutes. Then the hallway camera went to static. When it came back, the hallway was empty. At 1:13, the office lights flickered. White, then yellow, not dim, just wrong. Sickly yellow. I closed my eyes and counted to 30. At 17, I heard whispering. At 22, something brushed my shoulder. At 30, the lights were white again. I didn't turn around. At 2:11, the radio crackled. Then a voice said my name, perfectly, calmly, from somewhere deep inside the warehouse. It sounded like me, exactly like me. Open the door. I turned the radio off. The voice continued. From the hallway, without the radio, closer. At 3:33, every camera went black. The room felt heavier, like the air thickened. Then I felt it, breathing, right behind my ear, slow, warm, too close. I didn't move. The breathing lasted the entire minute. Then the monitors flickered back on, and I made the mistake. I looked at camera 1, the security office. From inside, there was no camera in that corner, but the feed showed me sitting in the chair, and something standing directly behind me, its head tilted, its arms too long. Its face was my face, smiling, too wide. I looked away, but it was too late. At 4:02, the knocking started. 3 heavy knocks from bay door. 3. Then scratching, metal bending. The office phone began ringing, over and over. I stood up, just for a second, and something grabbed my ankle from under the desk, ice cold, pulling. I kicked free and ran to the restroom, locked the door, turned off the lights. Something walked outside for nearly 2 hours, sometimes slowly, sometimes running. At one point, 3 knocks hit the stall door. Exactly 3. At 6 a.m., everything stopped. The warehouse looked normal. The rule sheet was gone. Mr. Holloway arrived at 6:15. He looked at me carefully. "You saw it, didn't you?" I didn't answer. He nodded slowly. "Most do." I quit that morning. He didn't try to stop me. The next day, I drove back. The warehouse wasn't there. Just an empty lot. No building, no sign, nothing. Last night at 3:33, my bedroom security camera went black for exactly 1 minute. When it came back on, there was someone standing behind my bed, wearing a red hooded jacket. I don't think Ravencroft needed a security guard. I think it needed something to watch, and I think it followed me home.